Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the XBL Weekly Roundup here on this Monday evening. My name is Weaver Prez, and I'm joined as always by one of the co-commissioners of the league. His name is Dwayne. Dwayne, we're here in Week 6. This is the Week 5 Roundup. We're pretty much almost done with the AAA and the XBL seasons. The AA playoffs are underway. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling fantastic. We are definitely hitting the home stretch now. Like you said, as we wrapped up Week 5 just last night. And it's really looking spicy. The brackets are really starting to form in the AAA and the XBL. And like you said, AA already underway with some actions and the series already finished. It's been awesome.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of that action here in a moment. Just want to quickly apologize. Unfortunately, for this weekly roundup, we do not have what we normally do, which is the power rankings for all three leagues. As soon as those are available, of course, if you're in the Discord, you'll get a notification of those power rankings being updated on the official league site. But until then, we don't have them to go over for you. So the show tonight going to be a little bit shorter maybe than it normally is. Without any further ado, though, let's get into our first segment, which we started doing last week, which is to look at those potential playoff brackets, Granted, for the AA, this is not a potential playoff bracket. This is live and up to date. You can see the Aeronauts, Goldfinger, already dispatching his quarterfinal foe, the Hikers, and moving on into the semifinals. He awaits the winner of a best of 5 between the Reggae Toners and Sitboth and his Chill Cats. And then, of course, on the other half of the bracket, Rise and Fall versus Black there on the top part of the quarterfinals, and then Cougar versus Tezzy there on the bottom part.
Yeah, this is a really interesting bracket here. Double A, I think, could go in almost any direction, especially among the top 3 seeds. So really looking forward to seeing who comes out of that 1v8 series with the Reggae Toners and Sitboth, and who's going to face the Aeronauts in that big semi. And on the other side of the bracket, yet to get started. Yeah, I'm looking at both of those heavily because I think the Piranhas have a great shot at beating Hogwarts Express, but the Lone Stars and the Heavy Ballers can go either way.
Yeah, exciting playoff bracket there. It's going to start taking shape more over this week, and then potentially this weekend or next week is when semifinals will start. And as I believe, as we've said before, we're going to try our best to get as much, if not all, of the semifinals and finals for the AA broadcasted here on this channel. We'll do our best to make sure we can get that for you. Moving on into the AAA playoff picture, and this is where things become speculative, right? So we're in week 6. There's still a week. Week 7 is the final week of the season. So these seedings are more than likely to change. We'll take a look at the Moon Kingdom there in the number 1 seed. I believe last week that was still Corruptions. So there's just one example of how things could change drastically. And in that bracket is the Atlantics versus the Holograms. That's Unholy Yeezus versus Oxbox, and then below that on that bracket, the NASA Knots and the Anchors. And then as far as the next bracket goes, on the bottom left there, the TACPs would get that bye week, and the awaiting opponents would be Phil, who gets the single bye, the Auditors, and then the Vrooms and the Battle Tapes, a 12 and 13 matchup. What do you like on the left side of the bracket?
On the left side of the bracket, Weaver, I have my eye on that big 12v13 matchup down at the bottom between the Vrooms and the Battle Tapes. Tam has shown an ability to come out and win some ball games that you wouldn't have really expected the Vrooms to win so far this season, and I think that might carry into the playoffs, but it's going to be tough going against the Battle Tapes and Chill. Chill has done a really good job of scoring runs in bunches this season and could easily bring that to a playoff matchup.
Absolutely, I agree. And then on that right half of the bracket, you can see at the top there, the Prowlers, Corruptions. They were 1 last week, I believe, and now he's 2. So he gets that bye. The single bye would come out from No Name. So they're at the number 7 seed. And he would await the winner of the Sirloins and the Wolfie Lions, who I believe just played this week in a good series. And then, of course, Rainy there, holding pat at number 3, would get a double bye. Phillies Rock climbs into a single bye situation. He's had an excellent second half here in the last couple of weeks or so. And then the Sicilians there at number 11, who we're going to see play tomorrow night versus Tam Danitz. And the Justice there at 14 in a nice way to round out that bottom right half of the bracket. What do you think of this one?
I think this part of the bracket's particularly interesting. I'm going to be looking really forward to both of those next round matchups with the Narwhals and the No Names, because I feel like their opponents that are going to come out of the series in the previous round can both go either way. I think the Sicilians and the Justice matchup is one that's going to be one to watch. It could go 5 games, I think, in my opinion. Casino's had a pretty big resurgence this season, but Panthers had a great second half himself, picking up a ton of wins. And then you have the Sirloins and the Wolfie Lions. That's going to be a really interesting matchup because Wolfie's been a little bit streaky, but he's just picked up a huge amount of wins this weekend. And Eduardo, just coming off a really nice start against the Justice, had a little bit of a stutter in the middle of the season, so it's going to be big for him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I definitely agree about the Wolfie Lions. If that's where he finishes there at 15, that's a dangerous 15 considering the momentum that he's been rolling with just recently. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. These are subject to change as people play and hit their minimums and win games and lose them. But now we will go into the XBL playoff picture. This is our 90 Ego League. And of course, they're at the number 1, no change there. That's the Black Jackals, who will await a winner. They go straight to the quarterfinals. They potentially could face either you, Dwayne, or your potential opponent, No Hummus, and his Stags. Luke Archer currently sits in that number 4 seed that previously was belonging to Cooch Potato Nation, who has slipped to 5, number 5 there. You can see right below the Mallards. He would play the 12 seed Miners. And then, of course, in the top right, we've got Ashnod, at the number 2 seed, awaiting the winner of Bice versus Ted Danson. That's Africa and the Dragoons, 7 versus 10. Ted sneaking back into the playoff picture. I don't believe he was on this graphic last week. And then the Beaky Bay Birdies there, the number 3 seed currently, would await the winner of myself versus B. Hagen, who has hung around a couple weeks now in a row in that playoff picture.
Yeah, I think the XBL playoff picture still has a little bit of shaking up to do, but the matchups as they stand right now are very interesting. I have obviously big eyes on 5v12 because I think if Mike can successfully get past Finite, that 4v5 matchup with Luke is going to be possibly the biggest mid-round series that we have on our hands. But he's got to get through Finite first, and Finite we've seen with an offensive resurgence this season, and Mike's been a little streaky. We're going to wonder which couch potatoes show up for that if that finishes as stands. And then we have on the other side of the bracket a nice, like you said, reappearance from the Dragoons. It's going to be tough if he ends up pulling Bice in Africa at that 7 seed, but our Season 8 Van Asen will be coming out, with something to prove, I think, towards the tail end of the season. He's had a rough one, but picking up a couple wins today was big. And then, we all look at 6v11 again. We are looking at that 2 weeks in a row. I think you have a great chance there, Weaver, to beat B. Hagen, but his resurgence this season from the AAA and now into the playoff picture has been amazing to watch.
Yeah, I will say the series that I played with B. Hagen in week 5 was quite the series. It was a lot of fun and very intense. I'd love another chance to play that for everyone. But yeah, definitely good matchups all around. I agree with what you were saying about Ted Danson and the Dragoons. Maybe a bit of a chip on his shoulder if this was the matchup he played as Bice. Bice really handed it to him in the series that they played, I believe, in week 4. Mm-hmm. It was a sweep from Africa. So that would be definitely a very interesting storyline to see going forward. And speaking of going forward, we are going to move on into the, normally if you watch us every week, we have the top 5 plays of the week. But starting last week, we began a new little segment, and we call it the not-so-top plays of the week. We have 3 of them that we wanted to show you this week. And the first not-so-top play is actually going to come from the AAA. This is Wolfie Lion. And after, I believe it's on this second pitch, maybe the third, we'll see what happens here. Versus Tam Dan, it's in a game that Tam eventually won. Ground ball to the second baseman. The angle, for whatever reason, isn't there, and it goes straight to the outfield for an RBI.
I mean, it was a pretty feeble attempt there from the second baseman, lacking all semblance and fundamentals. He just bends over and kind of olays at it. Pretty funny to watch. It's not fun to experience, but it's just one of those you just got to be like, what can you do?
Yeah, definitely one of those plays that's a bit disheartening. We'll see if the loop shows it to us one more time. I believe it's on the third pitch here.
That looks like it's having a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, some video glitches here. So we'll just move on to the number 2 not top play of the week. This is an extra innings Tam versus Eduardo. Tam is going to score the eventual winning run there off of a play where Hammerlong Balo, the legend out there, took a bit of a jump that he didn't need to.
Yeah, perhaps like a double click from Eduardo there. Really tough break. Trying to get that ball with Lloyd Cook, couldn't time it. And then, I mean, how often do you see a right fielder just jump over the ball like that? That's pretty rough way to go down.
He jumps over the ball. I feel bad for Eduardo, but when I saw that for the first time, I was cracking up. It's just funny, in my opinion. But anyway, the next not top play that we have for you comes from Wishbone. It's the famous Bermuda Triangle, and no one catches it. But what really is egregious is the fact that no one picks it up when it starts rolling.
Yeah, I think everybody at this moment just refused to play baseball. It's pretty funny to watch. Like, we've all seen this Bermuda Triangle, like you said, but I've never quite seen anybody just stare at the baseball, 3 guys just watch it roll past them like that. So that one absolutely takes the cake for me this week.
Yeah, we'll watch it one more time. No catch, no catch, no catch. Just a brutal play there. Thank you to Wishbone and to everyone who submits these and gives us something to look over. And then we'll move into the top 5 plays of the week, so the actually good plays. And the first one actually comes from you and your first baseman, Major Dong, over there, making a lightning quick dive against Mike the Cooch.
Yeah, that's probably the fastest I've ever had to react to a ball in this game. You could see him almost get that tagged on there. But I would have loved double play, but either way, I was just really pleased to pull off an out.
Yeah, and unfortunately another glitch there, so we'll just keep the train moving here. This comes from Just No Name in the AAA. Actually, the next 4 plays in a row all come from the AAA. We've seen the 9-3. I don't know if we've seen the 9-1 until now.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen a 9-1 put out in this league, and that was amazing for No Name to pull off. He got a little bit of a negative 20 throw there, but he gets it done with the good arm, and the speed just not enough on that player. I think he had a minimum speed for sure.
Yeah, just fires a bullet there from Dirty Motel 6, gets it in there. And you can see, I believe it's Phillies Rock was the opponent. Whoever it was, you could see them say, "This hurts."
This hurts.
We all feel that. And then at number 3 here, the rainy double play that we got here. It's a bit actually very unconventional. The third baseman dives, and then flips it back to the pitcher for the double play. I feel like you just never see that.
Yeah, 2 unconventional outs there. We had the 9-1 put out, and then the 5-1 double play. 2 you really never see, probably have never seen in this league. It's really awesome to see a rarity like that on these top plays.
Yeah, anytime you see a play in Super Mega Baseball you've never seen before, it just feels a little bit extra special. We definitely got to put it on our list here. And into the number 2 play, this is a sight that we're kind of getting accustomed to seeing. Tam Danitz is making a lot of excellent plays out there in center field. This is a game he would eventually win. It's that same game versus Wolfie Lion we had in the not top plays. This saves that runner from advancing from third, saves a run. It's just a fantastic diving play.
Yeah, it's just insane the range that he was able to get with his center fielder there, and he had to time that dive perfectly to pull it off. So great job to Tam. We've been seeing a lot of him on these top plays.
A lot of him, and just especially with that one specific character. And then into the top play of the week. This comes from Wishbone Rules, who also had the anti-top play of the week, making the robbery on the grand slam. It does score the run and make it 7-0 Justice, but if you followed this storyline in the Discord, Wishbone came back to win this game, and this was probably the turning point.
Yeah, this could have easily put it into Mercy territory. It would have been 10-0 if this gets over the wall, but Wishbone with the amazing timing, just getting back there with the range. This literally is a game changer. You can't get more impactful than that with a defensive play, I don't think.
If you believe in momentum, this is where it gets turned on defense here. Just an excellent timed play by Alan Shepard, makes the play, and again the run does score, but it ends up being a win for the NASA Knots. Just an all-around great play. And those are your top 5 plays of Week 5. Remember to record your best plays here in Week 6. Get them submitted into the highlight reel on the Discord. If you have any funny or frustrating moments that you do want to share, you can submit those to the XBL Not Highlight Reel channel on the Discord. Dwayne and I will look through each and every one of them when we get together pre-game here, or pre-show. Put them together. But yeah, like I said when we came in here at the beginning of the show, we unfortunately do not have the power rankings to go over, so it is going to be a short show. That's the last segment we have for you. And before we sign off, I'll just remind everybody the match of the weeks for Week 5 did not occur on Sunday night because of scheduling issues. They are occurring tomorrow night, Tuesday. The AAA match of the week at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, and the XBL match of the week at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. So we hope you all can join us for that tomorrow night. We'll have full commentary for you. Dwayne, why don't you send us home?
Yep. Big thank you to you, Weaver, again for joining me tonight for the Roundup. Like you said, we'll see everybody tomorrow for the match of the week. We're getting into the playoff race, so hit those minimums, get those seeds locked in. It's been really exciting. We're on the home stretch now. I hope everybody has a nice and pleasant evening, and we will catch you tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Good night. Good night, everyone.